What's up, y'all, boy? This episode on Remount Road, aka the Mount, four-way bossing, never crossing, also known as STREETZ. March 17th, 2016, the North Charleston Police Department would get a report that there was a guy suffering from gunshot wounds in an apartment complex located off of Riemann Road. The first responders would find a 42-year-old victim with multiple gunshot wounds to his head, neck, and torso. Detectives believe 16-year-old Lamarcus and others broke into the victim's house, hog-tied the victim, they shot the victim. The victim manages to escape, where he was chased and shot multiple times. Investigators charged Lamarcus with first-degree murder and kidnapping. Lamarcus sat in the county jail as the news went off, and he couldn't believe his eyes and ears. He was really locked up for a homicide he did not commit. Lamarcus would put his head in his lap and go into a deep dream. Lamarcus would be sitting at the park table thinking about his next move. He didn't know whether he should go to his auntie house or his grandma's house. But one thing for certain, Lamarcus knew he had to make up his mind before the street light came on. Lamarcus was barely 110 pounds, soaking wet, and about 4'11" in height. He was very quiet but very wise to be his age. He had that little guy big gun complex, the type of young niggas Lil Boosie rap about. Just off in the distance on the basketball court, Lamarcus would see Lil QB steal a ball from a tall 17-year-old, stop at the three-point line, and hit the shot. When the opponents got the ball back, Lil QB would steal the ball again and go for a layup, but the 17-year-old would foul Lil QB, causing him to fall and smack the ground. The 17-year-old was hating because Lil QB was one of the only teenagers that the whole entire neighborhood had known for his basketball skills. "Man, watch what you doing," Lil QB told him. "No, do something about it, little nigga." Out of nowhere, Lamarcus would come to Lil QB's defense. "My dog said, watch what you doing." The 17-year-old just stood there and stared at Lamarcus and Lil QB. Lamarcus stared back with no fear in his eyes. "Alright, I'm gonna give y'all little nigga this one." And with that being said, the 17-year-old walked away. "Man, good luck, bro. That boy been big as a bitch," QB said. "Man, we would have had to twerk that boy," Lamarcus laughed. The two friends would begin walking to the corner store to buy drinks and snacks. Upon entering the corner store, QB and Lamarcus would bump into QB's right-hand man, Lil Crummy. Lil Crummy was a certified 15-year-old hustler. "What's up, Lamarcus? Hey, QB, I got this little kickback we can hit up. Everybody from Charleston about to be in that thing." "Facts, bruh. I in there. Hey, Lamarcus, I'll see you later, bro," QB said, walking off with Lil Crummy. After Lamarcus purchased his Gatorade and potato chips, he would start walking to his grandma's house down Sumner Ave. By the time he passed Black Whale Ave, he would bump into one of his childhood friends, Jazz Mom. "Lamarcus, you seen QB and Lil Crummy?" Jazz Mom asked. "I just been with them boy at the corner store. If you hurry up, you could probably catch them boy," Lamarcus stated. Before Jazz Mom ran off, he looked back at Lamarcus and said, "Bro, always keep your head up, man, no matter what, 'cause shit real out here. And you gotta stay positive, bro." And with that being said, Jazz Mom would run off. Lamarcus would continue to his grandma's house, but before he knew it, a white 2015 Toyota would turn the corner doing 50 miles per hour, leaving tire marks. "Where you going at, Lamarcus?" Taz said as he scrolled down the window. "One of my caps just let me hold a whoops if you trying to slide." "And in a few hours is your 16th birthday, fool," Banks told them from the back seat of the car. It took Lamarcus a moment to come to a conclusion because he did not want to disappoint his peoples, but a thought ran across his mind like, shit, you only turned 16 one time. And with that, he would jump into the car with his two friends, and Taz would put the pedal to the metal down Sumner Avenue. Alright, bro. You roll us 3.5 of purple, and Banks, you roll us 3.5 of solid diesel, Taz said, handing Lamarcus and Banks the pressure. Boy, you always think you somebody boss, Banks told Taz in a joking manner, and the two would begin to play fight. After the guys were finished slap boxing, they would roll up the gas and jump back inside the junkie whoop and skirt off. The three guys would proceed to go on a dead end called Reed Street, where they would bump into Sideshow and Lil Mike. Sideshow would be posted up on the staircase in his own zone, minding his business, and Lil Mike would be sweeping off his auntie's porch. Marcus, Taz, and Banks pulled up to the scene. What's up, fools? Y'all boy trying to turn up for Lil Bro birthday? Banks would ask all of them. Hell yeah. Let me finish doing the chores for my old lady and my auntie, and they coming back out. Lil Mike would go inside the house and finish doing the chores for his auntie, and about 20 minutes later, he would step back outside. Banks, Taz, Lamarcus, Sideshow, and Mike, they would all jump inside the car and cruise the Charleston city streets, blowing on gas. Man, bro, my little brother smart as hell, bro. That's why I gotta stay positive and on my shit, cause I can't have little bro out there like that, Jasmine said to Lil QB and Lil Crummy as they sat in the car. I feel you, Lil QB replied. Y'all boy really gotta think of that shit. If we all stick together and stick to our dreams and stay focused, bruh, we can never lose. This whole world basically a monopoly. And if we young and focus on a paper like this, ain't no telling when we go be the next Dr. Dre or 50 Cent, Jasmine stated. Word, bruh. Cause if you think about it, we young entrepreneurs right now. You got old niggas doing 20-year bids coming home and getting straight to the business and the money, Lil Crummy told them. Then they all got out the car and went into the mansion-sized Airbnb. A few moments later, Lamarcus and the guys would pull up. QB and Lil Crummy would start a friendly dice game. Jasmine would be on Google trying to learn about getting money in many different ways. And the rest of the guys would be smoking weed and playing the Xbox and doing $10 bets on Madden. The next day, all the guys would wake up from a weed coma and all the guys would go their separate ways. A few weeks later, Lamarcus would be walking down the street when a junkie walked up to him and said, "Hey, that little guy you be with who look like you? Man, I was just walking past a hotel on West Montague and he was scratched out and the police had yellow tapes around him, man." Instantly, Lamarcus knew what he was talking about. He was talking about QB because everyone in the neighborhood thought QB and Lamarcus was the same person. Lamarcus would attend QB's funeral, and QB's right-hand man, Lil Crummy, would be one of the guys to carry the casket. There were many other natives of the Remount Road area at the funeral too, because Lil QB was a very well-known teenager coming from out that neighborhood. A few weeks later, Lamarcus would be coming out of the corner store when 8 undercover FBI agents pulled up on him. The murder charge would be the first time Lamarcus would ever step foot into a jail. Being so young, Lamarcus did not know what to expect. Lamarcus knew he hadn't done it, and that was the scary part. Lamarcus already knew, since he did not commit the crime, that he would soon be released. Only a few months would pass, and Lamarcus would be back on the streets. Lamarcus realized that at any given time, somebody can take your life, or something worse, like the police trying to pin a vicious homicide on you. At this point, Lamarcus would begin to paper chase. A gust of cold wind would be coming off the Cooper Rivers and the Ashley Rivers, and that would cause a tropical storm to form over the Riemann Road area. Lamarcus would be in front of the corner store with a full-size Glock on his hip that he could barely conceal because he was so small. As Lamarcus stood in front of the corner store, he noticed about 12 smokers geeking, looking for another fix. Lamarcus had to wonder to himself if this was a part of the government's plan. He got snapped out of his thoughts when the smoker asked him for a $100 piece. That's Charleston, South Carolina for you. The place where all the familiar faces become homicides, graduation dates become funerals, and court dates. Lamarcus just knew he had to get it now. By the time Lamarcus turned 18, he would hit the highway with a bag, going to get a bag, if you know what I mean. But the federal agents that was following him from 4 miles in the sky had other plans. The feds would bag Lamarcus on major drug charges and gun charges for the next 5 years. Lamarcus would be sitting in federal prison for about 3 years when his roommate came out and grabbed him from the chess table. "Hey, Lamarcus, I need to holler at you. I just talked to my peoples and they say 2 people just got killed on Riemann Road just a few days apart," the inmate told Lamarcus. Lamarcus would go in the day room and turn on the news. According to the news, Low Trey 5 would be killed in a drive-by/shootout. And after Low Mike would bury Trey 5, just about 6 or 7 days later, Low Mike would be killed walking to the corner store, and a masked gunman would take his life. Lamarcus would go back to the rec yard and post up on the wall and just think. Some months later, Sideshow would lose his life in front of the corner store. He would be shot one time in the abdomen and he would die at the hospital. About a year later, only about 3 streets down, Low Mike's brother, Low Sav, would be killed on a late night. By 2021, Lamarcus would be granted parole, and Low Taz and Low Banks would pick Lamarcus up from Virginia. "Boy, he nice to see you, boy. I ain't see your little ass in about 5 years," Taz told Lamarcus as he jumped inside the whip. "Boy, I know your little virgin ass horny. I know you feel good to be home, little bro. I miss your little ass," Banks joked. "Where y'all niggas just coming from?" Lamarcus asked. "Shit, I just got out myself about a month ago. They dropped the murder charge because I was innocent." "Damn, bro," Lamarcus said as they drove back to Charleston. A few months would go by, and Banks and Lamarcus would have their last conversation before Lamarcus went to sleep. Lamarcus would wake up to hearing that Banks had lost his life on a late night in Charleston. He would then have to bury his friend and continue to live on. With Lamarcus just coming from out the feds, Lamarcus started to move different. He only had been home for about 6 months when Banks died. Lamarcus decided to call Jasmine so he could pull up on him and they can talk and vent to each other. "Damn, Jasmine, your little brother done grew up. That's some real shit. You always talk about your little brother." "Word, bro. That's my little brother. I'ma always have my little brother back, Lamarcus. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just always knew since we been young that we were going to end up like some type of entrepreneurs or some type of businessman. We about to be real problems for the city of Charleston. You feel what I'm saying? Facts, bro. That's what he bought, I swear. But damn, what's up with Crummy though? I ain't really heard about him in a little minute." Shit, Lil Crummy doing a little bit right now. But shit, I always putting something on this book, so he's straight. You know, Brian ain't stressing back there. Before you knew it, the news came on and Lil Taz was being arrested for another murder. Damn, that's crazy, Lil Marcus stated. Word, bro. Man, Lil bro, I about to head out to go serve these people these gadgets, man. I'll catch you later, bro. And with that being said, Jazz mom walked out the door. Lil Marcus would doze off and wake up to a phone call the next day that Jazz mom and his little brother had lost their lives together. Lil Marcus, only 22 years old, being from Charleston, South Carolina, your average person, even over 25 years old, has not experienced the trauma that your average 22-year-old from Charleston experienced. You see what I'm saying? And I'm going to wrap it up with this story. What's up, y'all, boy? This your boy, Marlo, a.k.a. Marlo Block. And my take on the Remount Road neighborhood is that 9 times out of 10, growing up in an area like Remount Road is that just from the history, the guys around there live off a certain moral. You see what I'm saying? They live off of what been going on. You see what I'm saying? People around there been sticking together since the 1700s and way before the Europeans even settled in America. You see what I'm saying? They been sticking together on that mount. You see what I'm saying? Remount Road was actually one of the first roads that intersected Rivers Avenue. You see what I'm saying? So the people who coming from like Columbia way and shit, who don't gotta cross the Cooper River or the West Ashley River, they gotta come through Remount Road first. You see what I'm saying? Ever since 300 years ago, since the 1700s, 400 years ago, since the 1600s. You see what I'm saying? You had to stop the Remount Road first. You feel what I'm saying? And that's where you could have found a lot of businesses and stuff like that. And, shit, not even 40, not even 50, not even 60 years ago, black people had owned a whole lot of things on Remount Road. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of like that anywhere on this earth. If the people before you been doing certain things, they basically watering them seeds to be whatever they watering. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, them boy out that mount always had a hustle. You see what I'm saying? And it's some older guys off the mount that's gonna probably watch this video and be like, damn, you see what I'm saying? It's like the 90s and the 80s on Remount Road got stories for days too. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta come back to that mount. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just one story. You see what I'm saying? That's a group of friends who probably, that's a group of friends from the ages 13 to 21. They all lost their lives, you see what I'm saying? Within 5 years, 6 years, 4 years. You see what I'm saying? But that's my take on that situation. You feel what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and Remount Road has like with the hike area, you can leave 15 years, come back, see the same people. See what I'm saying? Remount Road is like the project, the east side. You see what I'm saying? Remount Road has like a fast rate. You see what I'm saying? You leave 3 years, you leave 5 years, you come back. you see a whole new wave of people. Feel me? That's your boy Marlo. I out, man.